Hi guys, welcome back. So just a little update here in our back garden veggie plot. It's the 29th of August actually. So I've harvested this chard here. You can see there's plenty of it. The mustard, this is ruby mustard. That's come through well, as have the radish. And I think that's another type of mustard there. I've just planted out some Lollo Rosso again down that middle bit there. This later sowing of multi-sown beetroot's looking okay. Hopefully will make up into something. And I really like this coriander. The amount of hoverflies I've noticed on it, and bees and well, all sorts of insects really. But I'm definitely going to grow that again, and I'm hoping I can save some of these seeds if we get enough dry weather. Similarly, the dill, you can see seeding away, so I'm going to at some point cut those heads off and pop them in a paper bag. There's something forming, probably caterpillars. I need to get rid of that. Just looking around here, I've got a few little spinach plants. I don't think they're doing much at the moment. Spring onions, some more Lollo Rosso here, some more mustard, and another sowing of radish. I'm sowing it about once a week at the moment. Got some more French beans. I picked these, I'll show you the ones in a minute, and these fabulous white Lisbon spring onions. They're just so good. And once again, this later sowing of beetroot, that's definitely made up now, so that's nice. And got a squash there. There's about 3 on this plant. It hasn't done as well this year, but I think that's probably down to the cool, damp summer, you know, from July onwards. It's been pretty miserable really. These cabbage, primo they were, yeah, primo. I've had a little bit of, you see that white, it's like a sort of powdery mildew type thing. I just keep trying to pull the affected leaves off. But some of them are making really, you know, I bet you that weighs £4, £5 maybe. But the other thing I noticed as well, yeah, they're not all, as you can see, Savoy, so the seed obviously wasn't 100% true. That was the first sowing of Ferrari beans. So what we're doing with these, wind snapped that one, we're just letting them mature now. I'm going to save seeds. We'll do the same with the Pongo beans. But this later sowing, I picked a kilo off this patch here about 5 days ago maybe, and if you see, there's still plenty on. There's plenty on. So we'll come back. You know, cabbage whites are flying around all over the place. Yeah, so I'll come back, probably pick another lot in about maybe a week's time. And the courgettes are still going. I'm still managing to sort of survive this mildew. A couple of small ones on, so they might make up. Again, I've got some small spinach. There's 1 or 2 missing. I don't know what's happened to those, but anyway. And we've harvested this Lollo Rosso. We've had about 3 pickings off that now. I got some advice from Steve Richards, Steve's Seaside Allotment, about my beetroot. You know, the leaves had all gone sort of brown and burnt, withered away, and he said just cut everything off and they'll come back. And yeah, that's absolutely spot on, Steve. Thanks for that, mate. I think that's literally can't be more than about 12 days, something like that. Quite astonishing. But they're all looking good. And this sowing of radish here, they're getting a bit chewed, but to be honest, I don't really mind that. But, this year's been so bad. Cabbage whites have been laying on these. They've been laying eggs onto the salad rocket. You know, it's weird. Never seen that before. And in the greenhouse, tons of tomatoes, as you can see, Crimson Crush there, Rapunzel here, I've just been sort of thinning the trusses out, you know, any smaller fruits. I kind of remove those. They're not really worthwhile, but you know, it's a good tomato. But I won't do as many next year. I'm going to make room for the peppers because they don't like, you know, there's a few small ones, a couple of small ones there, but they haven't done very well. They don't like being in the doorway with the draft, I don't think, and so I think next year I'm going to do fewer tomatoes and more peppers. That's the plan. This fig's gone absolutely bonkers. You can see all the second lot of fruit. It's such a shame that they'll never ripen, but just look at them all. It's absolutely amazing. I think there's maybe a couple of, there's just one there, that's almost right now, and one just underneath it there. I think that's about it. 2 or 3 more left, so, but it's done well. I think we've had 50 plus off the fig this year. Thing I did yesterday, borrowed a mate's electric pole saw to try and top out some of that tree. I said I was going to try and, I've neglected the summer pruning, and that's why it's got kind of out of hand really. And so our next doors were kind enough to let me come round and sort of try and get some of it from their side. And as you can see, I've just not been able to. There's about half a dozen or maybe 8 that I could still do with trying to get to. I've got some long you know, tree loppers, but I don't know, we'll see. But if I can't get them in winter, I'm going to take a lot of wood out, and I'll in future just try and keep up with the summer pruning to keep it more sort of accessible really. Welcome back guys, it's the 2nd of September and it's a beautiful morning. The moon actually is, I don't know if you can see that, let's see if we can just see that up there. Almost a full moon last night. Anyway, I'm intending to have a burn today. I've got several piles of branches and clippings, etc. For example, that one there. Look at all these apples. It's all, as I mentioned before, codling moth damage. Anyway, I'll pick them up after. Might be some good ones. I also think I'm going to harvest some of these, sorry, turn around on you there, some of these big jumbo apples as well today, take them home. Even though they, you know, they've got codling moth, if I put them in the fridge, they should keep for quite some time. So yeah, so there's a heap just there. There's this massive heap of up there where all the pinks, I dug all the pinks out, that's got to go. And then turning back round, there's the heap down there by the barrow of all the damson pruning. So it's very light winds, it's perfect conditions. So I'll get cracking, I'll bring you back hopefully when I've got something started. So this is a cooking apple. Again, you can see where it's just starting to go. It's been tapped by codling moth, but I should be able to salvage some of that. So that is Peas Good Nonsuch. It's a heritage cooking apple. And just up here, say these are jumbo. Again, you can see the codling moth things, but let's see if the I'm going to salvage, might as well take them while I can, because see, look at that, they're just coming off, no problem at all, but you can see the damage there. But I'm going to take them anyway and see what I can make out of them. Every year I see if I can get a £1 apple. I think that must be very near, so when I get back home I'll do a little weigh-in. Okay guys, we've got back home now. I've got 3 candidates out there. We've got our trusty scales, so we'll just see. So we're in grams, if you can see that. So 454 grams, I do believe, is a pound. So going by that, that's over a pound. So I'll change the unit to see if we can get it to. There we go, guys. Just and so, £1 and 0.3 ounces. Whoop! So we've done it. 2023. A £1 apple. Just another shot from the other side of the greenhouse. Those Crimson Crush. Absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? Anyway, I'm going to spin you around because I just wanted to show you these onions. I can't exactly remember how long they've been under here. This is the compost thing. But they're almost there. Just a tiny little bit of green left in that neck. So I'll give them a few more days. But it's worked really well. Welcome back, it's September the 5th. Just one more little update before we conclude this particular video. I'm going to spin you around slowly. So I was talking about burning all the big pile of pinks. Well, that's what's left of the first lot. All that barrel, my burn barrel was, well, I filled it so many times I can't remember now. And then I just kind of left it, and then I came back the next day, and that was what was left. It was still had red hot ashes in, so I chucked that clump on just to dry that out. Okay guys, that's what's left now from a pile that was, you know, kind of up here somewhere. And I can tell you, you know, just in a few days, about 3 days, because we've got this really hot weather at the moment, we've got a high pressure system sat over us, and like today it's 27, which for South Cumbraes, it's not a one-off. You know, we have had it before, but it's pretty rare, I can tell you. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn that over, just turn it over just to make sure that the other side, if there's any moisture, that will get a chance to dry out. And then probably Thursday or Friday I can get that burnt, and then that's the end of that. Just having a quick pan around the orchard, you see that most of the trees now are empty. This one here, jumbo. I have picked some jumbo, but I've got those to pick. I'll probably pick those at the weekend. It's Egremont russet here. They're all early this year, I would say 3 to 4 weeks. There's a couple more jumbo on that little tree there, and some Ashmead's kernel there, a late apple, so I'm just trying to hang on before I pick those. And you can see they've still been grubbed, but anyway, it's just how it is. And of course the Concord pears, I'm not sure, I would say about 3 weeks time, but some really beautiful looking fruit on there. So I've been picking them and putting them in these crates, and what's happening is I'm giving them to a cider making mate of mine. I don't think I'm going to have time this year, so there'll be about 5 crates there. I'm not sure about weight, maybe £160, something like that, but certainly I think it'll be grateful for them. And really, just the last thing, I don't know if you recall, but I did sow this. These are Oregon sugar pod, and I forgot to put some protection over them, and the pigeons just absolutely hammered them. You know, they just pecked them right down to the ground almost. So I put this net over. I'm hoping you can see through the net. We've got pods, definitely. So that's a result, and so hopefully, you know, as we go along, maybe that's better, I don't know, but I'm hoping to get maybe 3 or 4 weeks harvest out of that. Just one more thing I want to show you. This apple here is a heritage one, Blenheim Orange, and the ones that were on top, sort of getting more of the sun, were sort of really lovely red. So you can see that the ones that underneath that don't get as much sun, taking longer to ripen, which is why I've left them on. But there's one thing about these I just want to show you quickly. So 2 that were on the ground when I got here, they just dropped off the tree, and you can see all this dark kind of spots round. That's classic sign of bitter pit, and it's down to lack of water. So when we had that really, you know, we had about a month or more of no rain in June, that's probably what caused it. So what I'd say is, if you're going to grow Blenheim Orange, it's a lovely apple, by the way, make sure you've either got access to irrigation and the time to irrigate, or grow something else like jumbo. It's a lovely apple, and I've not had any problems with bitter pit. Well, that brings us to the end of this one, guys. I hope you're enjoying the content and just enjoying this sunny weather. So do take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.